Gentlemen, I'm going to talk about a little bit of jet fuel. At Selma, we've got, I don't know, 6 terminals, something like that. And one of them is Transmontane, and they have a regular terminal, for gas. They don't have diesel fuel there, but they have all sorts of gas blends. And then across the road, Transmontane has the jet fuel terminal. They've got the 2 flavors of jet fuel that they need to have, JP5 and Jet A. So Jet A is, if I remember right, if I'm thinking right, Jet A is almost everything, and then JP5 goes to New River Air Station and maybe one other place. New River Air Station is Marine Corps. JP5 is supposed to be better, a little more pure or whatever, higher cetane or whatever. So hauling jet fuel, first of all, it takes a dedicated trailer. So I have 2 trailers at the farm I keep on the yard. I've got a regular gasoline and diesel fuel trailer. That's trailer 102. It's a LBT. I've got a kind of a long relationship with that trailer. And then I've got this 498, I think it is, which is it's an okay trailer, man. I used to pull this trailer on my first job. So both of these trailers I've got a relationship with. This is an okay trailer. I wouldn't kick a dead hog in the butt for it as far as hauling gas and fuel. I mean, would it work? Absolutely. But is it set up the way I want a trailer to be set up? Absolutely not. So, but yeah, my first gas hauling job, I operated this trailer. And we'll talk about my first job at some point in time. They're no longer in business. They got bought out. Anyway, so I'm here at Transmontane to haul some jet fuel. And when I first started here, I liked jet fuel. Not so much anymore. You've got time constrictions that are sometimes unreasonable. Not all the time, but sometimes. The terminal opens at 5. They don't start pumping until 6. I got here at 5 on the money, and there's already a big line. I don't like that. This is the first time that I have ever come at 5 o'clock. I've always got here at 5:30 or 6. And by that time, I may have to wait 10 or 15 minutes. I've already been waiting for 18 minutes, and I'm going to be waiting a long time this morning because there is at least 4 trucks in front of me, and I think there may be 6. I'm pretty sure there's 6. At the terminal, there are 4 lanes under the rack, so you can fit 4. Transmontane is asinine when it comes to, looks like we're moving here, but Transmontane is completely asinine in the way that it's only 1 arm at a time, whereas most terminals, you can at least get 2 arms going. You can load a 2-arm gig in a matter of minutes. I'd say about 15 minutes, 7,500 gallons. But 1 arm at a time, it's a good 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. And that adds up. They're letting us in the gate. So 1, I'm seeing them make that turn. It's a boat truck. Come on. Number 2, make the turn. Number 2, maybe it ain't as bad as I think it is. 3, 25.6. It is as bad as I thought on the 6 truck. But jet fuel is a pain in the rear end. It's the only terminal in Selma that has the common sense not to have a rule about walking around your truck. They don't make you walk around your truck before you pull up under. They make you stop at a yellow line, and most of the guys don't even make you. But we've got 6 trucks. All of us JWs, I think, are probably going to Seymour Johnson in Goldsboro Air Force Base, giving the F-15s and the KC-1, well, I can't remember what they call that new. Used to be KC-130s, refuelers, but now I can't remember what that 767 is called. I never can. So the long and short of it is I've got to wait for these guys. Let's see. We'll try to pan it around. We're at 6 minutes here. What's this guy? What's he want me? He's wanting me. These guys, they, I know I may have to edit some of this out, but I'll show you a couple pictures and interweave it into the video here. But I do not like this place at all. Number one, I got kicked out of here for 30 days. I'll tell you that story some other time. But yeah, I got kicked out of here. That's okay. There's some places you can get kicked out of and you want to get kicked out of. I didn't want to get kicked out, but getting kicked out didn't. It pissed me off that I did what I did. I did something absent-minded. I'll get into that later, but it can happen. I've been doing this. This is my 8th year hauling fuel. And you're still gonna make mistakes, but that was a pretty dumb mistake. But anyway, these guys, generally speaking, they call themselves, they pride themselves that they have an elevated safety consciousness, that they just do. You got to get to know these guys. There are 3 of them. I'm looking at one of them right now. I'm looking at the second one. I don't see the third guy, but they are tailholes. Oh, I see David. Me and David over here, Barfield, he and I worked at Wayne Oil together. Real good friend. Not seen him in a while. But 3 of these guys are pure Class A buttholes. One of them is ADHD and more. I think he's probably got a mental problem. Here, this guy's gonna come over. Let's see what he's got to say. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, if nobody's told you yet, first thing in the morning, especially when we're busy, don't skip bathing.
Don't what?
Don't skip bathing. Stack in here, starting at that side. If you're not one of the first 4, go ahead and line up right behind the next guy, but always line up from that side. So you should have been over a bathing.
Okay, well,
you're making it hard for this guy to have to squeeze in, and if we're backed up to the road, we need everybody packed on back up in here so we can get everybody going.
All right. Well, his trailer was kind of cocked over. That's why I did that.
Yeah. Just try to keep that in mind next time. I mean, it ain't no big deal this time. I'm not trying to bust your balls about it. Just in the future, whenever you come in, if we got a bunch of trucks rolling out first thing, stack in, and then, like I say, start get us.
Is it like this at 5 o'clock every morning?
Not always.
Because you won't have to worry about it again. I won't fool with this.
It's not always like this at 5. I mean, it depends on what we've got. This is a busier day.
I got you.
So,
all right.
And we got a lot of first out today because we're supporting a base in Georgia right now.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. That was kind of slammed on us at the last minute last week, so that's what it is.
I got you. Appreciate it.
Man,
I don't know what you got of that. I don't know how my camera angle was. He is one of the ones I'm telling you is a pain in the rear end. And it's just because he's all the time got something to say. He's all the time got, he wanted me, all right, there's a guy in lane 4. I skipped lane 3 and got in lane 2 because the guy in lane 4, his trailer was kind of cocked over. That's called not wanting to hit anything and wanting to be better lined up. These are extremely tight. This is another reason I hate this terminal. These lanes are super freaking tight. I'll take a picture of it in a minute. And I just hate this place. I hate it with a passion. It's half the reason I don't want to haul jet fuel. And I've hauled a bunch of loads of jet fuel out of here. And I liked it at the beginning, but the more and more I did it, the less and less I liked it. Seymour Johnson is 12 miles from my house. F-15s, 4th Fighter Wing, I love them to death. Great guys. I got several friends of mine that are pilots and Wizzos. Wizzo's the backseat guy. I probably have 15 pilot friends or Wizzo friends. And I go to a church where a bunch of them go to church. And they wash in and wash out, but our church seems to attract them. And I love them to death. But, and I do take pride in the fact that I'm serving these guys. But on the other hand, if we go to Seymour Johnson, it's 12 miles from the house, and the only thing good about it is 12 miles from the house. When I get my 4th load at the end of the day, it is 12 miles from the house. In 15 minutes, I'm at the house. That's the only thing good about it. The bad part about it is it's gravity drop. It uses suction and everything. The suction's just a natural suction, but it's a gravity drop deal. It's aggravating. And nice guys, they're probably the nicest guys in the whole of all the bases we go to. The least amount of aggravation getting on. All that stuff is good. Some of the bases we get on, like New River in Jacksonville, is terrible. Every week you got to go sit in a room and fill out paperwork and get a background check. Seymour Johnson, man, you flash the twig guard and roll on, literally. But I don't like jet fuel. It's a little more intense than I want it to be. It is 4 loads, and you just got to start as early as possible, and that's fine. But it becomes a chase to the end. You've got to get that last load loaded by 1 o'clock, and it's got to be delivered by 2, which is not a problem, but you have got to start no later. You have got to be going down the road you have got to be loading at the terminal by 6 a.m. No question about it. And as it stands right now, it's 5:30. You see, I did the extra work of being here, and it did nothing. I'm at sun zero. So these guys are probably halfway loaded or so. Again, you can only load 1 arm at a time. That's time consuming. These guys are a little more safety nuttish than they need to be. And they just got a couple guys that, man, they like to nitpick. One of them, you're not supposed to have electronics under the rack. A lot of times, I get to other racks, I'll take my AirPods out when I pull up under and everything, and I pull, and nobody says anything. Over here, they're yipping and yapping. So when I get in the gate, I'm taking my AirPods out. That way, by the time I get around here, I got them out there in the case or stowed away. I don't mind doing things like that. It's just the attitude. These guys, they like to pick at you. They like to show their authority. They like to pick at you. And but yeah, between the terminal and then the whole, and the terminal's tight to get in, and you can A lot of times, if you don't do this all the time, another problem with it is getting lined up. If you do this a lot, 2 or 3 days a week or 4 days a week, you're going to know exactly how each one of these lanes you need to get your truck in the lane for it to work best, to get loaded the easiest. But every lane is different, and if you're only in here every other week or something like that, dude, you could get 3/4 loaded and then switch compartments and not be able to get the arm on your last compartment and have to move your truck, and by that time the TMC is reset. You got to redo the computer stuff and have 2 sets of bills. That's happened to me twice because this crap, these lanes suck. But anyway, that's my opinion on jet fuel. I'll try to take a couple pictures here, a couple pictures at Seymour, let you see what's going on. And I'll catch you later.